All right, welcome. Welcome to the show. Badass movie time. We're going to talk about some movies that I haven't seen yet that I would like to see. I think only one of which we're going to watch the trailers to some shit. So hopefully this doesn't get taken down. These are movies I'm excited to watch over the next year, and we're going to talk a little bit about them. Let's just jump in, dude. Okay. I kind of mentioned this on the last episode of this show. Uh, Zach Kreger is one of my favorite directors right now. He did Barbarian a few years ago, and I knew nothing about Barbarian. First of all, Zach Kreger used to be on The Whitest Kids You Know, which was a great show back in the day. He's a comedian, right? He started doing horror movies, and I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but he's not the first horror director to go from skit comedy show to being a really good horror director. What is his name? Jordan Peele from Key and Peele, who also did the movie Keanu, which was a great movie. He did Get Out, Us. Was it Us? And then Nope. I think he's also a really good producer. Anyway, Zach Kreger did this movie called Barbarian a few years ago. My daughter came home. She had gone on a date with her boyfriend, and they had just randomly watched it, and she told me to just watch the movie and to not look anything up for it. And so I did that, and I fucking love Barbarian. And the cool thing about Zach Kreger doing this Resident Evil movie is the monster in Barbarian, spoilers, if you haven't seen Barbarian, go watch that shit. The monster towards the end of that film is very much a Resident Evil kind of. It's just that feeling of dread that you get. And when I watched the teaser to this, yes, it's not a direct adaptation of the video game. I don't need that. I love Resident Evil. It's my favorite video game series. But if the dude who made Barbarian wants to come in here, and I feel like he's a good enough filmmaker who understands horror, because he also did Weapons, and Weapons was spectacular. Such a good horror flick. I think he has a concept of dread down. He's gonna make a horror movie. This movie looks fucking scary and intense. I would give it a chance. I think if you have a director like Zach Kreger going, I'll make a Resident Evil movie, you should just let him do whatever the fuck he wants. Now, and I brushed on this topic when we were talking about Return to Silent Hill. I liked Welcome to Raccoon City. Or, yeah, the last Resident Evil movie to come out. I liked it. And it did an okay job of adapting the first two games into one movie. I think there's enough in the original Resident Evil to make a movie of that. You just need to put some cops in a mansion with zombies, you're good. You could make that movie. I also like the idea that Zach Kreger is going to do his own shit with this, and it's going to probably be fucking scary and intense. The best shot during this teaser, I'm going to tell you right now, was him opening up drawers and looking for, he's looking through drawers. That is what Resident Evil is. He looks in his shotgun and it's empty. That's what Resident Evil is. So I think this is going to be fucking way cooler than people are giving it credit for. I am 100% on board for this movie. This director has not let me down yet. Will I be let down with this one? There's a lot riding on it, man. I mean, as far as the games go. But if we're talking about just the movies, the best one, I really like Paul W.S. Anderson's original Resident Evil. The first one was pretty good. And I even liked one or two of the rest of his, he did 6 movies, right? Welcome to Raccoon City was okay, but it didn't do well enough to get any sequels. They had okay setup. They could have done more. It could have been cool. That show on Netflix was atrocious. But I feel like this is a good direction. Dude, that's my kind of trailer right there. I probably won't watch any more trailers for this movie. It's Evil Dead, and once again, unlike Resident Evil, I haven't really been let down by any of the Evil Dead movies. We went and saw the Evil Dead remake in 2013 in the theater, and dude, that movie is so fucking good. And the follow up wasn't bad. Evil Dead Rise. The advertising was a little off on it. It should have been advertised more. It's a movie about a family being brought into the situation, right? Like there's kids and shit involved. That movie's very mean to children, by the way, which is kind of sick. I feel like people are real quick to fuck with kids in movies nowadays, and it's because it's effective, but it is kind of like killing the dog at the end of the movie. It's yeah, you know, like Salem's Lot is fucked up, right? Salem's Lot's fucked up because it's you know, a guy loses his child, and like I love my son so much. Like if I was in that situation, I probably would bring him back too. You know, I don't that feeling of grief that you would have of losing it, like fuck. Anyways, Evil Dead Rise was crazy. That same the director of Evil Dead Rise just did a Mummy movie that resembles Evil. I don't know. These movies are badass. So that was a fucking cool trailer. I don't have a lot to say because I don't really know what this movie's gonna be about. I don't need to know. I'm gonna go watch this shit, and I'm gonna probably enjoy it. I'd be shocked if I didn't. I even like the show, dude. The show was good. It's fucking Evil Dead, dude. It's just fun. And I like that these newer ones, the remake and Evil Dead Rise, are... The original Evil Dead's not very scary. It's really silly now. If you get into Evil Dead 2 is probably the best. One of the best movies made, period. Evil Dead 2 is so fucking good. But that Evil Dead remake, dude, that shit was good. Talking about it right now makes me want to go watch it right now. That's how much I like that movie. I love the Evil Dead remake. DC's taking notes from the Marvel... Well, actually more from Sony. Sony's still doing the fucking Spider-Man villain movies, which is so weird. This looks fucking rad. I'm interested. Am I as excited for Clayface as I am Evil Dead Burn or Resident Evil? Probably not, but that looks fucking cool. Clayface is one of my favorite villains. Clayface has like one of the best episodes of the animated series when I watched it when I was a kid. There's an episode with Robin and a little girl and Clayface. That shit fucked me up when I was like 6 years old. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this. Well, obviously I'm excited. I gotta quit saying that. All these trailers I'm showing you I'm excited for, but that looks fucking cool. Yeah. I don't know if I need... The Joker was pretty good. I thought the Joker was good. The follow-up wasn't very good. But this looks like just a DC supervillain horror movie. I mean, the Joker was pretty fucked up, but that was more like Taxi Driver, I guess. I don't have a lot to say. When Jackass first started, I was a huge fan of Tom Green, and I felt like Tom Green kind of got fucked over for no real good reason other than he was foreign. I don't know. I don't know what happened with the Tom Green show. It was such a fucking good show, and it just got ruined. So Jackass kind of took over that kind of like late night, like something to watch when you're a kid, you know, on MTV. It took over that for me, and I wasn't big on skateboarding culture or any of that shit, but I really liked Jackass. I liked the idea of hanging out with your friends and doing silly and stupid shit, and it carried on into my adult life. There's shoeboxes full of tapes of me jumping off of things and lighting fireworks and whatever nonsense. There's stuff that I probably won't ever put on the internet that my friends... There's some crazy videos. And I think Jackass kind of has that spirit of just, like, chilling with the boys. It looks like they're going to be doing a lot of previous content, maybe. There's going to be some new stuff. The prostate exam with the robot looks interesting, right? I feel like we kind of did this a few years ago, right? We did Jackass Forever, them as old men, but they're even older now. So whatever. Five, I think 5 movies is pretty good send off. I think that's more than enough. My favorite, Jackass number 2 was probably my favorite. I saw that in the theater. So, all right, now we got some more video game adaptations that I'm excited. They got the Hadouken in there. That looks badass. I have nothing negative to say about that. Like when the first Street Fighter movie came out, I think it was 7, and I like that movie, but it's bad. This just looks badass. This looks like a fucking Street Fighter movie. Like I know some people have picked it apart, but I know a lot of people who are into this shit and they grew up with this shit. This is perfect. This looks awesome. I I'm really excited for this. I think it's gonna be good. I don't think I saw one thing in that trailer that I disliked, to be honest. I don't know how you can be overly critical about a fucking movie about a fighting game from the '90s, but there's people that are freaking out about it. One that I'm a little more skeptical about, and I haven't read any reviews for it. It's out now. It already came out. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna probably wait for streaming. Um, okay, first off, let's put it this way. Can you see what's coming up next? Oh no, it's not showed up. I'm gonna just say it. The next trailer that we're gonna watch is for Mortal Kombat 2, which I know it's out and people are already talking about. I prefer the video game Mortal Kombat over Street Fighter, I think. But I played a lot of both, and they're both something from my childhood that I do enjoy. Up to this point, Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat movie made by Paul Anderson, who also did the first Resident Evil movie, the original Resident Evil movie in 2001. Anyways, Paul Anderson made a movie called Mortal Kombat in the 90s. Hopefully you've heard of it. That's a great fucking movie. It's fun. It looks like it's just part of Mortal Kombat now. I'm hoping this movie will be something like that. Do I think Street Fighter is going to be as big as it ever used to be? No, probably not. I think Mortal Kombat is superior now. I haven't played Street Fighter since Street Fighter 3. With the millions of iterations of 3 that came out. I think Street Fighter Alpha 3. Okay, excuse me. Street Fighter Alpha 3, which is like what? Street Fighter's? I don't know. It's all silly. That shit looks fucking great. That looks awesome. I'm excited for this. Let's watch the Mortal Kombat trailer. I'm sure. Okay, Mortal Kombat 2. I guess there's no point in me really making any predictions or anything now because it's out. Came out on the 8th, right? There's a huge delay on this movie. I think it's badass that we're getting a Mortal Kombat movie and a Street Fighter movie in the same year. And I think that's why I included this. I made this playlist a few weeks ago before this even came out. I think I'll enjoy this. I liked the last Mortal Kombat that came out. It came out during COVID time, right? It was on HBO. I think the thing that is appealing I don't want to make predictions. I think they got rid of Cole for the most part, right? Cole was the main character in the first one. I did not like that character. I don't know why. Maybe they just used him to get you into this elaborate story, but I'm familiar. If I'm watching a movie at the age of 40, as a 40-year-old man, if I'm watching Mortal Kombat, I probably am familiar with it. Like, I know what Noob Saibot and fucking Scorpion are, and I know the story and everything. So, like, I didn't need that character. It's stupid. And then I forgot what it's called. They have like all the combatants have like a superpower. Their chi. Is that what they called it? Their chi, whatever. That stuff was kind of stupid. But this looks cool. The first Mortal Kombat, my favorite. I think I was just talking about that with Street Fighter, but a movie came out in '97 called Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That movie was fucking crazy, dude. My dad rented that on pay-per-view for me, and I remember we were both kind of like, "What the fuck? What is this?" This doesn't look like that to me. I could be wrong. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this, but I don't know. My wife and I were actually talking about going to the theater to check this out because it does look cool. I'm sure there's something cute at the very end of this, but we're gonna move on to something I am way more excited for. Check this out, guys. I don't want a dead person touch me, but I definitely don't want a dead person covered in jizz touching me. So, this looks fucking great. Um, Peninsula wasn't as good as Train to Busan, but Peninsula was pretty fun. So I'm excited to check this out. I don't know if this is going to be a theater visit necessarily. I saw Train to Busan about 6 months before everybody else because I found a copy of it online. Stephen King actually recommended this movie, and I had some help, and I got a copy, and I watched it, and it's a fucking cool movie, man. And so I was excited for Peninsula. So I don't think the same director did Peninsula though. I think somebody else did that, but there was stuff in Peninsula where they were trying to make it sad because like Train to Busan made me cry the first time I saw it. It brought a tear to my eye. It made me cry a little bit. I'll admit it. It's a good fucking movie. And I feel like Peninsula was trying to make you do that, but it was like some drawn out scene. Anyways, I'm stoked for this. I'm excited to watch this. All right, the next movie, I'm not so excited for. I put it on here because I'm gonna have to watch it, and I'm a huge fan of Night of the Living Dead. But this movie looks fucking weird. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about there. There's a lot to unpack with that trailer. Ben's been replaced with a black woman, which I'm fine with. I don't care. Barbara looks pretty accurate to the original. What do I say about that? It's gonna be bad, probably. That's probably not gonna be very good. Rob Van Dam was in that. That's kind of cool. Uh, One of my introduction to George Romero's zombie trilogy as a child. It came out when I was 3. It was my first horror movie too. It was Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead, and I feel like Night of the Living Dead, the Night of the Living Dead remake, like as a child, I enjoyed that movie. And I realized that movie could have been better due to producers fucking with it and him being just the MPA fucking with it. Like, just so many fucking problems with that movie. But I just watched it recently, and it's a fucking good movie. Like the remake, it was a good remake. My favorite thing about that movie, as it now in hindsight, like as an adult, as a grown man, when I watch it, my favorite thing about that movie is they made it look like it takes place in the '60s. It does not. Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead takes place in 1989. And I thought that was kind of a cool fucking twist. And not a lot of people talk about that, but the guy says so on the radio. It's 1989. That's fucking rad. That movie's cool. The zombies are good. It's pretty true to the original Night of the Living Dead, with a couple little things. Like Barbara's more of a badass in that movie. This, it's gonna be weird. This Night of the Living Dead is gonna be weird. I don't think it's gonna be anything spectacular. It looks pretty low budget. Which the original Night of the Living Dead was low budget, but when I see CGI zombie heads blowing up and stuff, and it's obviously CGI, I don't like that. I don't know, man. I just heard Kate Beckinsale might be in the new Twilight of the Dead. I think I'm more interested in Twilight of the Dead. Even though George Romero obviously is no longer with us and he won't be able... He supposedly wrote it. I don't know how much... I'm interested in Twilight of the Dead. Probably more so than that. Do you guys know how many... There's so many fucking Night of the Living Dead remakes. There's so many. There's a cartoon. People have gone over and redid the voices in Night of the Living Dead. It's just been ran into the fucking ground. You want to know what my favorite homage homage to Night of the Living Dead is dog soldiers, man. They did Night of the Living Dead with, instead of people fighting zombies, they did Night of the Living Dead with soldiers and werewolves. It's kind of cool. And then Assault on Precinct 13. John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct. Anyways. Perfect, dude. Anyways, House of Leaves is a story about... Well, it's a screenplay. The story... There's a guy who finds a screenplay from a blind old man, and it's a transcript for a movie, I guess. I forgot exactly what. But basically this family discovers that their house is bigger on the inside than the outside, and the dad becomes obsessed, and they end up finding, the back rooms, basically. And this book's way older than the back rooms. The back rooms, that looks like House of Leaves, kind of like a different take on House of Leaves, which is a great fucking book, by the way. I got it right back here on the shelf, actually. I love House of Leaves, but yeah, man. So I don't really care about the video game as much. That's kiddie shit to me. That's poppy playtime, fucking Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. But I am excited to watch out with Charlie for sure. Okay, we're down to our last two trailers. Let's do it. I'm trying to think of a time that Godzilla came to America with Toho doing it. They kind of made fun of us, guys. First of all, Zilla's in Godzilla Final Wars, but they also there's a scene where I forgot the tarantula's name in Godzilla, but the giant spider goes in. I think he's attacking Arizona or something. And there's also a scene in Brooklyn that's extremely racist. Anyways. We'll see what they do with this. Minus one was really good, so I guess -0 should be pretty cool. As much as I liked -1, what does -0 mean? Shouldn't it just be Godzilla 0? It's like Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is my favorite Godzilla of recent years. Like, Shin Godzilla is so fucking good. But isn't Shin just God in Japanese? Alright, guys, Dune 3. I mean, when around the same time the first Mortal Kombat came out, or the newer Mortal Kombat 1, the Dune came out. It was another one of the COVID movies that was just released to HBO because people weren't able to go to theaters, which was a cool time for me because I like watching movies at home more than anything. I didn't hate it. I wasn't blown away by the first Dune. I am a huge fan of David Lynch's Dune. That movie fascinates me. It's not very good, but it fascinates me. So obviously, Dune Part 1, after Dune 2 came out, if I watch them together, Dune 1 is pretty good, and Dune 2 is like one of the best movies I've seen in like years. Like, that might be one of my favorite movies I've ever watched in the theater. Like, I fucking love Dune 2. So, there's a lot riding on this, and I know it's the final part, and I kind of know the story, and I kind of know what's going to happen. I'm excited for it still. I think it's going to be cool. That trailer really makes me feel pretty good. Like, if you're not familiar with Dune, if you didn't catch it in the second movie, he is not a good guy. They're preparing for him to be a very bad individual. He is a false prophet, basically. He's a bad news. Like, you see him rise to power, and you're rooting for him when he's a kid, right? So this movie, if I remember right, it's his sister that's the good guy, right? His little sister. And it might not be that black and white, but like, he's not gonna be good in this movie. He turns pretty quick after he takes that poison, and at the end of Dune 2, you're like, fuck. So if you're not in on Dune, if you haven't watched Dune yet, I've talked to people who have not seen these movies. This is like the best sci-fi shit coming out right now. Like, it's all the way. So good, dude. Huge Dune nerd. I'll admit it. I fucking love those movies. On this list that I have made for you all and we have watched tonight, I hope you had fun doing this. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm not a big trailer guy, but sometimes it's fun to get hyped up and get excited. I think Dune 3 is probably the one I'm excited to watch Backrooms with my son. Jizz Zombies should be pretty fun. Street Fighter looks great. And, Resident Evil. You're watching this show on a channel that I called Resident Chicken Zero. So, I love Resident Evil. Yeah, man. Got some good movies. Most of them good. I'm not so sure this belongs on the list. When I made this, I was like, I'll throw Night of the Living Dead on there. I actually, I can't delete it from here because I'm not logged in. But I think I'm gonna take that off the list of movies. I watched it just now with you guys, and I realized I'm not very excited for this Night of the Living Dead movie. This looks pretty dumb. But I might add to this over time. I know Twilight of the Dead's coming out. There's some other stuff that we should be catching trailers. Doomsday might be cool. I think Doomsday's coming out around the same time as Dune Part 3. But if it comes down to Dune 3 or a Marvel movie, give me a fucking break, dog. Give me a break. I think that's it, guys. I think that's it for tonight. It is 2 a.m. I'm tired. I'm all sweaty because it's hot in my office. I think I'm going to go to bed. Stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Some new stuff coming out on Resident Chicken Zero. Some new stuff coming out on the Space Dog Maniacs channel in the very near future. So stay tuned for that, too. If you want to watch some silly movies my son and I are making. Yeah, catch you all later. Good night.